everybody, and welcome back once again to another episode of the UK Glamping podcast, hosted by us here at Glampitect. So, for those of you who listen or watch regularly, you'll know by now that we always like to welcome along a guest. And today we have a very familiar face for you, for any of you who have listened to previous episodes or indeed attended any of our webinars. We have Callum Moffat. Thank you very much for coming along, Callum.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on, Ollie. Look forward to it.
So, a familiar face, but a brand new role. I'm happy to say that Callum has been promoted since you last saw him. So Callum is now our new head of sales. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Ollie. Obviously, I've been at the company about 3 years now, and through that helped a lot of clients through the journey. So just excited to take this next step and seeing how we can further support our clients and what we can do to add value.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dwell on that for a moment, actually, and let's have a little chat, because we've also had quite a focus towards the end of 2024 on how we can add a little bit more value for our clients and what sort of new services we can introduce in order to do that. And I know you hosted a webinar fairly recently regarding some of our new services. So can you chat us through that?
Yeah, the webinar received a lot of good feedback, actually, and we've known for a number of years that a lot of our database and people booking calls and people needing support are quite at that earlier stage of not having land any yet, or not sure where to look for land, or especially not sure if land is suitable. So we've always supported people once they've found land with understanding the feasibility and the planning and the next stages, but we've always wanted to have more support and more services available to people earlier in the journey too. So I think that webinar was a bit of a launching pad for that, and we're just excited to have a lot of new services either currently being rolled out or in the works that will help people at that stage, from mailings going out that have lists of land we think avoids a lot of the red flags and may be suitable for further exploration, from our land matching service linking up clients looking for land with those who may have land and be interested in opportunities, even through to our land search service that a lot of clients have already started working with us on and are finding it a really valuable process where we can actually take the pain off it for you and search for suitable land within your parameters of budget and location as well. So it's off to a good start, and excited to see how we flesh out more ways to add value at that stage.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've already had a whole bunch of conversations just in the week or two we've been back so far this year at the time of recording about that kind of land search and land match service. I think it's something that we've talked about as a company for a couple of years, and it's really exciting to finally have the logistics of it nailed down, because it's a market that so many people are keen to get into, and if you don't own land, it's been, I think you'd probably agree, a real significant hurdle for clients just to have that first step where you go, right, how can we educate people into what an ideal piece of glamping land looks like? And there just isn't really an answer for that. So it's trying to avoid, as you say, those initial red flags first and foremost, and educate them around that. And then obviously doing that little bit more in-depth research that our regular listeners will know about through feasibility studies and the other services we offer. But for those of you out there who have been wondering what we can do to help if you don't have land already, there's your answer. We've absolutely got a couple of new services where we can assist, and we would welcome a chat with absolutely anybody who is keen to have those conversations. And just a reminder, you can pick up the phone and have a chat to myself, any of the rest of the sales team, my colleague Imogen, and of course the new head honcho Callum. Just because he's been promoted to head of sales doesn't mean he's not going to be dealing with clients anymore. He is absolutely still available to you guys. So jump on the website, jump into the description of the episode here to get our contact details. We are here for an no-fee chat, so pick the phone up. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm sure you find it as well, but like a lot of our day-to-days, it's spent giving out free advice on calls, and we love giving that advice and sharing that expertise in everything we do, from webinars to the calls. But you rightly hit the nail on the head. Every call and every piece of land, it's such a cocktail of factors as to whether it's suitable, and such a varied landscape bespoke to each site. So it's always really helpful to just initially get into a call, get into the weeds of the site and the vision, and I think a lot of people find a lot of value in just that free early advice and support we can offer.
Yeah, 100%. I'd completely agree. And I don't know if it's just the time of year or if something's changed with how long we've been operating, but certainly I've had more and more people thinking that they can't approach us and chat to us without any kind of obligation to pay over the last couple of weeks, and it's not the case at all. We appreciate that people are going to have a lot of questions when they're first kind of dipping their toe in the market, and we're here to help. Use us as a sounding board. We'd love to hear from you. So that's a little bit on some of the new services that we've already established, and I know we've got grand plans to introduce more as the year goes on. So once you have got in touch with us, keep your peepers open on the mailers and stuff that we send out, and we'll certainly keep you abreast of any new developments. But I'd like to touch a little bit on what everyone can expect from us through 2025. So we obviously have a schedule of webinars and different events and things like that we are planning for the year. What's up first? What's next? Where can clients next kind of interact with us on a webinar?
Yeah, so we've got our Glampitect Academy coming up on Thursday the 30th of January at 6 p.m. That's a couple of hours session. It's normally 6 till 8. And we also record the session for those who can't make it live as well and send that out. But it's been quite popular over the years, and it's probably been one of our main webinars where we try condense the whole journey from finding land to going through planning to choosing units to marketing, and just the whole journey of starting a successful glamping business into a bit of a whistle-stop tour for people. And I think for a lot of people it's a really helpful starting point or opportunity to join and learn a bit more about what stage you're at too. So yeah, we'll be kicking off with that in a couple of weeks' time.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think so obviously over the last couple of years that I've been with the company, I've been your willing and able assistant when you've been presenting the academy, and certainly seen that that's been a really helpful tool for people that are not only just the people that are early stages and maybe don't necessarily have land, but even people that are halfway through the process, just to get a proper feel for what the steps ahead of them are and how they can kind of map out what they can expect for the future. So a lot of people will probably have already had an invite out to that via email, but presumably they'll get another invite between now and the 30th, just as a reminder, will they?
Yeah, definitely. So we've got multiple ways to sign up to that and our wider webinars as well. We will send emails out about registering. There's a page on our website about the Glampitect Academy and our Glampitect webinars that you can register for that and all future webinars as well. But yeah, both just excited to see as many people along as possible. My favourite part of the night is definitely seeing you getting bombarded with questions and some of the wildcard ones that sometimes make you sweat. But
take my keyboard on fire, frantically trying to keep up with the questions while you're talking. Yeah, it's
that's the joy of it. Is you get so many people in different situations.
I do love that though, because I think like every time we do this academy, and we've done it once a quarter now for a good few years. There's always something new comes up every single time. There's always a question we haven't had before, and it's a question that maybe, obviously, like any online forum like that, sometimes people are a little bit shy to ask questions. So it's really nice when some of the clients or prospective clients ask a question that answers it for a whole bunch of other people. It really kind of stimulates conversation. So yeah, it's a good part of the day for sure.
Definitely.
So further than the academy, and for those of you that aren't sick to the back teeth of my dulcet tones from the podcast, there will be a feasibility study webinar being run on a regular basis as well. Some of you may well have attended one that I've done previously. So that will be probably the next cab off the rank after the academy. But we're certainly trying to do more of those than we have been doing in previous years, and showing you a little bit more of the team, a little bit more of kind of peeks behind the curtains from the boss, Callum Moffat, as well. So for those of you interested about what's coming up, what you can sign up for, what topics are going to be covered, there is going to be a page on our website very shortly that is just being finalised at the moment, where you'll be able to view a full calendar of our events. So once that's live, I'll edit the description below to have a link to that. But for the time being, just keep your eyes and ears open, and we will keep you well informed.
Yeah, definitely. We're keen, obviously, to add a lot more to that schedule as well, and take you on the journey. So definitely got some exciting ones that are coming out alongside our regular occurrences about like the costs and returns of the North Coast 500 pods, and actually seeing the revenue stats off the back of the blog, because it's a question we're asked probably every day, like what does it cost to set up and what are the actual honest returns. So
100%. I mean, that's what everyone wants to know, is are they going to make any money? And I think it's fair to say that the boss has been staggeringly open about the returns in his latest blog on his 2 sites. So that is available as a blog at the moment through our website. But I know Callum is keen to host a chat about that and take a few kind of live questions and answers. So yeah, absolutely keep your eyes open for that, because we are keen to address as many different facets as we possibly can for you. So outside of online interactions, webinars, and the usual ways that we communicate with our clients day to day, which is primarily phone and email, where can people come and see us, come and meet us? What's the plan? Is it the same sort of exhibitions as we've been at previously this year? Is that the master plan?
Yeah, so there's two main events each year that are really good ones on the glamping calendar. So we've got the glamping show in Stoneleigh. So that's normally every September or around that period. That's a really good show where a lot of the leading manufacturers, a lot of the leading kind of names and companies in the glamping sector are in attendance, and we're always there to offer advice, and alongside our range of luxury units as well, to show them off too. So that's a really good one. And then we're also I think it was formerly the Farm Business Innovation Show, but now branded under the Land, Leisure and Tourism Show.
Yeah.
That's in November every year, and that's a really good show. Again, with kind of all areas of diversification for land and farms and kind of tourism ideas. It's a really good one, but
yeah, it's a really useful one for a few kind of wildcard entries under one roof, isn't it? It's you see an awful lot of glamping applicable stuff, and then you see some slightly more left field choices like the dinosaur rental guys and a few of the other businesses that attend that. It's an interesting one, but certainly one that we see an awful lot of traffic through. I popped my presenting cherry at that last year, obviously, and did a little seminar there. So if you're desperate to hear me talk, that's where you can find me.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting one this year with, like, I think the consensus after the budget and everything, everyone's looking for different ways to diversify and make their land work for them, or find more land as well. So it was a really interesting one. But I think the landscape of that, and as you say, there's new crazy things popping up every year at that. It's always a fun walk around.
Yeah, I really felt a shift in some of the tones of the conversations we had this year, obviously between those 2 shows, because the budget landed slap back in the middle of it. And much like the BBC, I will aim to remain neutral here and offer no political opinion, but I think it's fair to say the budget upset, it'll be the most diplomatic way I can put it, an awful lot of our prospective clients and existing clients, with the way that farmers are being treated and some of the financial implications, as well as small business owners and all sorts of different demographics across the UK. So if you're wanting to have that kind of open and honest conversation about how you can diversify, what the potential returns are, we're here to talk. Get in touch with us. Outside of those 2 exhibitions, I know there is hushed talk of potentially bringing back the barbecue that we ran a couple of years ago as well. So it's not confirmed yet, but watch this space. We are hoping that we'll be able to host an event at the factory where all of our luxury units are produced. We ran it a couple of years ago, really, really successful, right slap bang in the centre of the UK, just outside Birmingham. So you can get a proper opportunity to come and see not only the completed product, but how it's actually all built and put together, so you can really kind of build your confidence in the quality that goes into these units. And hopefully you and I can both come away a little bit less burnt than we did 2 years ago, Callum. So I think we neglected the factor 50 while we were running about like headless chickens, didn't we?
Believe it or not, it was the most sunburnt I've ever been, and it was in Birmingham at a barbecue. So yeah, it's a great event. We always bring the weather, and I'm sure it'll be the same this year. But I think alongside that too, it's like we always have some great units to show off there, and you can see such a range, as you say. But
Yeah.
for our clients, seriously considering pods, or maybe further along in the process of planning or choosing your units as well, like the factory is there, and we are happy to arrange factory visits as well to see the process, the build quality, and yeah, ahead of that, always just on the calls initially to give a bit of inspiration about what we can do on the unit front.
Yeah, no, 100%, really good point. Always happy to arrange factory visits. Give us a shout, let us know what you're thinking, and if you've got an idea of what size unit you might like, that really helps as well. Because for things like open days and barbecues, we'll try and make sure we've got a really good mixture of sizes and options there. But day to day, week to week, it might be that they're building 6 of the same size unit one week and then 2 or 3 different units the next week. So obviously in an ideal world, we'd like you to be able to go and see what it is that you've got in mind for your own site. So like anything, communication's key. Let us know what you'd like to do and we will do our utmost to facilitate that. So I think we can wrap it up there, Callum. Thank you very much for joining me to give people a bit of an insight as to what they can expect from us this year. I think we'll both reiterate, if you've got any questions at all, you want to have a conversation, just pick the phone up. We're here to help. And don't feel that you can't speak to Callum. Callum will obviously always still be dealing with all of his existing clients, as well as continuing to take on new ones as well, as part of his role of head of sales. And of course, like ever, contact details in the description below. We'd love to hear from you. Callum, thanks very much for joining me again, and I'm sure we'll see you all again soon.
Yeah, thank you, and keep the questions coming. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Bye-bye.